doesn't need you. Tell me, do you bleed? So I'm just loving this new Batman armored helmet that I bought from a local mall yesterday. So behind me right now is the Shanghai Tower, which is the second tallest in the world and the tallest in Asia. So you can see how beautiful this view is right now. So coming back to the video on the DJI Ronin SC, I've been playing around with it for a lot last week. This week I kind of switched my attention to the Crane M2, but I did a video last week shooting the Singapore skyline, the City Scape as they call it. Edward and I, we actually walked about 20 minutes to get to that location, and one of the features that the DJI Ronin SC, any of the DJI gimbals that we have, I haven't seen any tutorials or videos on the Panorama feature in the DJI Ronin app. So I decided to test it out because from what we normally do, to most people's understanding, panorama shots, if you do it on your mobile phone like your iPhone and your Samsung and stuff, basically you switch your phone on, you hit the panorama button from the left side, bring your phone over to the right side so that we will take an extremely long shot of the area around you, and then it compiles and then it creates an extremely long, basically unusable kind of photograph unless you're doing print. If not, you basically can't do anything with it because it's so long and it's of a weird dimension and stuff. So basically that is the panorama that most of us understand. This video I'm going to show you how the panorama feature works in the DJI Ronin SC and the DJI Ronin S. Yep, so basically what matters is that which camera you're using. You actually need to choose which camera sensor you're using, whether it's a Micro Four Thirds sensor, an APS-C, or if you're using a full frame sensor camera. So you will need to select that, and then you will also need to select what kind of lens focal length that you're using. So in the video on my Panasonic G9, I was actually using a super ultra wide angle lens. It is a Micro Four Thirds camera, so I used a 7 to 14 millimeters Panasonic Lumix lens, an f4 lens. So that worked out pretty well. So check out the clips. I'm going to show you the video of the panorama, and of course, since we were there, we actually did some motion lapses and time lapses as well. Checked out online on YouTube. No one really cares about the time lapse feature as well, so I decided to include that in. So basically in this video we're just checking out the panorama feature, the time lapse feature, and again the motion lapse feature. Right now, let's get straight to the video. Right now we are here at this beautiful location here with Edward. Check it out. This is one of Singapore's most popular photography places. We're going to do a simple panorama. So panorama, and I'm using a Micro Four Thirds camera, so we gotta choose the settings. So Panasonic G9 is a Micro Four Thirds M4 III. Focal length is I'm using a 7 millimeter, and overlap 30%, and delay 2 seconds. Let's try delay 1 second. I'll just leave it at 2 seconds. We'll take multiple shots, so we're gonna try it out. You can see that it auto rotates. Not so sure what it's taking. It looks really, really high. Like taking the sky. Look at the angle of that. It's rotating like a penguin. Like taking the floor. Oh, and we're done. Not so sure if we can see how it looks like, or how are we supposed to piece it together, but I think we gotta do that in post as well. Maybe let's reduce it to 1 second delay. I guess because we are using a 7 millimeters lens, that's why the shots needed is only 2x2. So let's try it out again. Due to in a 1 second delay. Not so sure if Edward is in the shot. Done. So let's say if because I'm using a zoom lens, so let's say I'm gonna put it back to recenter, and I'm going to try to change this to 14 millimeters. I'm not so sure if you can see that because it's completely pitch black. Okay, I've got it on 14 millimeters. So you can see, I'm going to change the focal length to 14. Okay, so the number of shots needed, you can see it increased to 4 times 3. So this micro four thirds and focal length does make a difference. Not so sure how the overlap works, but let's say we were to try out. The minimum is 30%. So let's say we go, we just test out 40% maybe. Delay, maybe we switch it back to 2 seconds. And so they're going to take multiple shots right now. They're going to take, because the overlap has increased to 40%, I increased it. It now needs 5 times 3 shots instead of the 30%. They actually needed only 4 times 3 shots for a 14 millimeters focal length on a micro four thirds camera. So let's try it out. So you can see it taking multiple photographs. I'm just not so sure how I'm going to... Oh, it's supposed to take a photograph, but it's not taking a photograph. Only when it's in focus. Like right now, is it in focus? Okay, it is in focus. Is that's in focus? That's definitely in focus. Wow, it goes all the way behind. And I'm taking the floor. Just now when it was taking the sky and the clouds, I didn't hear a snap sound. Because I know for motion lapse, if it's not in focus, it will not take the photograph. I'm just going to try it out again just to confirm that. Maybe I'm going to reduce the overlap down to 30 again. And yeah, let's try it out. So now it needs 4 times 3 photos, 12 photographs. So let's see what happens when it focuses on the sky. Yep, it didn't take the photograph because it cannot focus on the sky. So I got one missing photograph on the... That's another missing one. They took that one. So I guess maybe we need to use manual focus. We'll try it out in manual focus and see how that goes. Using the focus wheel. So all this has objects, so that's no problem. It's just when the sky, there's nothing to focus on, I guess. So I'm going to try some settings and I'll be back. Okay, so now I'm going to do the panorama shot again, but this time in manual focus. You can see on my screen that it is the buildings and the Ferris wheel and all that all highlighted in blue. That means that is in focus, so we're just gonna take photographs right now. I've used the pull focus wheel at the side here just to play around with the manual focus. So we're gonna start. Hopefully it works better in manual focus. Yep, it took the photo. Yep, took photo again. So just now when it's shooting the sky, it cannot focus in autofocus continuous mode, so it didn't take the photograph. Oh. So I switched it to manual mode, and now it seems to be taking all the photographs. So it'll be like one blank photograph, then take one photograph there, then another blank, and then another photograph. So I need to switch it to manual focus for my Panasonic G9. Okay, so basically here is the 12 photographs taken in manual focus mode on the Panasonic G9. So you can see 12 individual photographs overlapped at 30% each. So you manually need to adjust the overlap, the individual photographs. As you can see here, I manually moved the photograph to overlap the structure at the side of the building here as well. So try to adjust it as much as possible. Unfortunately, you can see quite a lot of issues. For example, there are two moons in the photograph. When I was tried to overlap the moon at the top, it didn't work, so I just left it as it is. But you need to scale it down and crop it. After piecing everything together, then I merge all the 12 layers into one, and then I do the color adjustments such as auto color and auto contrast and stuff. So that's how I actually did piece together my panorama photo taken on the from the DJI Ronin app on the Panasonic G9. And also another issue is with the clouds, because the clouds were moving quite a bit, so you can see that the clouds were like more or less cut off. So here is the end product after doing all the adjustments. I think the biggest issue is the two moons in the sky. The rest of the picture is actually not looking too bad, except for the clouds at the top looks a bit cut off. Yep, so we got the time lapse running, or normally we will use the motion lapse, but I'm just testing out the time lapse because there's a lot of clouds. Looks pretty nice. So it's got 10 minutes of pictures coming up, 300 photos, and 20% complete now. It is a bit windy, and you can see my tripod isn't very safe. Look at that view. So thanks guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed that video. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button and the alerts button, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace here from Shanghai.